Alright, today we've laid out all our radio gear. We actually are getting to the point where we're ready to install it. So we've got our transmitter, we've got this is the speed control for the motor, and you notice 3 wires going to the motor. This is the power end. We've got our servos, and we've got a receiver, and then we've got, this came with 2 battery packs. So here's one, and here's the other. We also got a battery charger, which has a DC adapter, and basically we can plug the battery in here, and this senses what the battery is, and it will charge the battery for us. So we've got our servos, and I can kind of show you how all this works together. So you've got your servos. These are servo arms, and they go on, they're splined, so you can move them around, put them on however you want. Find the way that lines up the best, and then it's held in place with a screw, just like that. Okay, then when you set all this up, the receiver, so the receiver will actually, you have to bind it to the radio. Now I already set up another airplane in the radio, so basically what I can do is I can plug this in, and this will turn the receiver on. Alright, now the receiver's on, and what I can do is hit this, which will put it in bind mode. I think I actually have to hold it down. So you see the light flashing? It's in bind mode. So now I can turn on the transmitter, and see we've set up the build and fly airplane already in here. Hold the bind button and power it up. And you see it says binding. And we're connected. And you can see that we're connected because now the servos move with the sticks. And that's pretty much all there is to that. Now, we didn't hook up the motor because it would go all over the place on the floor if we hooked it up. But when we get it in the airplane, we can actually test the motor and make sure it actually runs and goes the right direction. And there's ways to change the direction it runs and everything and program that. It's not real hard. And we'll get into that when we start installing everything. So then the way we turn everything off here, normally to turn it off, you always disconnect the receiver first. So here, there's no on-off switch. You just unplug the battery. And then on the transmitter, just hold the button down until it goes into shutdown mode. Okay, another thing we can talk about is we basically have soft mounts for the servos, and the way these work, which I can show you by putting the soft mounts on one of the servos that I haven't done yet. So the way this works is you get this soft mount. It's got only one way it can go on here, like that. And then there's these little grommets, and this grommet has got a flange on one end. The little flange goes on the bottom, and there's a reason for that. So the flange goes in like this, and then when you screw the servo down, this tightens against the other side of the flange, so the flange is against the base of the servo tray, and it only tightens down so much, so there's still some play, and this can do shock absorbing. By doing that, you get some play. When you actually get these in here with all four in, the servo, it can move a little, but it can't move very much. And the biggest thing we're doing with these servos is you want to mount the servo longitudinally in the direction that the push rod's going to go. So, you know, the elevator push rod and the rudder push rod will go to the rear. So when they sit in the tray, we'll probably have them sitting in the tray like this. So they're both going back. Elevator push rod goes back, rudder push rod goes back. This way there's not as much play this way, so you have more, basically you have a more solid setup. Here, another thing we wanted to show here real quick was we've got the battery charger all powered up, and the way this works is, we'll show you. So basically we take the battery and we plug in the battery, and then we plug in this battery balancer, and now that shows us the condition of the battery, and it's actually charging. So right now we're only a quarter charged, and it's doing the next level, so it automatically starts charging the battery. Alright, there's the servos in there. Now we just need to screw them in. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the pin vise right here, and we're going to drill a hole, put in a screw, and then drill another hole, put in a screw, and we'll put in all 8 screws here to hold both these in. So go over what we did here. We've installed the servos and got them screwed in. We've got the right now we just got stuff laying in here, so we got the speed control and we got the battery. We also hooked up there's a motor, and then we've got an elevator servo and a rudder servo. So pretty cool, making progress. So we went ahead and put in the aileron servo and hooked up the ailerons, and you can see that the ailerons now move like they're supposed to. And that was our plan today. That's pretty much it where we finished off. I think the next time we'll start hooking up the controls for the rudder and elevator, and we're getting pretty close.